And then final question, do you have any moral or ethical qualms about detaining a 5-year-old on his way back from preschool?
Be more specific on that.
Liam Ramos from the Columbia Heights School District, do you have any moral or ethical qualms about that?
We conduct legal, ethical, and moral law enforcement missions here in Minneapolis. So as far as what you're saying with that particular individual, you'll have to be more specific because I didn't detain a 5-year-old. And we're going to continue with that law enforcement mission. Oftentimes you will see violent illegal aliens that perhaps do have families. And those violent criminal illegal aliens are going to be arrested. I've got no qualms about making America a safer place when we arrest those illegal aliens.
So Liam Ramos,
go ahead.
Commander, Al.
Five-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos, now detained, is currently at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, Texas. As per the superintendent of the school district in Columbia Heights, a Minneapolis suburb, Zena Stenvik, Liam Conejo Ramos was removed from the family's running car. Liam came with his family to the United States in 2024.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact that we're enforcing the country's laws. But, you asked a question about this 5-year-old kid. I actually saw this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic messaging event. And I see this story, and I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy. And I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I do a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien, and then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? If the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement. That doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense.
Moral or ethical qualms about that?
We conduct legal, ethical, and moral law enforcement missions here in Minneapolis. So as far as what you're saying with that particular individual, you'll have to be more specific because I didn't detain a 5-year-old. And we're going to continue with that law enforcement mission. Oftentimes you will see violent illegal aliens that perhaps do have families. And those violent criminal illegal aliens are going to be arrested. I've got no qualms about making America a safer place when we arrest those illegal aliens.
Were you ever trained to use a 5-year-old in a law enforcement operation? The masked, and in many cases, minimally trained officers have dragged pregnant mothers, pepper sprayed children, placed their knees on the necks of American citizens. And recently, they detained a 5-year-old. This is Liam Ramos, 5 years old. Detained him, used him as bait to lure his family members out of their home. Then they shipped him to a detention facility 1,000 miles away, 5 years old. Were you ever trained to use a 5-year-old as bait to get his family members to open the door? Were you trained to do that, and would you countenance one of your officers doing that?
I'm not familiar with that case.
I'm not asking you about this situation. I'm saying, were you trained, and would you allow a child to be used in a law enforcement operation? Would you allow your officers to do it?
I'm not familiar with that case. It's not part of our training.
You offered to take him, and you saw ICE agents drive away with
Yes.
the 5-year-old boy.
Yes. And then I held another community member in their front yard sobbing.
Liam's
they
mother
say
was
anything to
inside
you?
the house.
Did they, like, when you asked them why they were doing that, did they say anything, talk to you?
So, you know, I don't remember if they did say anything back to me. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of people, you know, making a commotion. And so all I can speak to is the part that specifically that I heard and my response
Sorry
to
to
that.
clarify, Liam's mother was inside the house.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
Did
and the
she
question-
say she wanted her child? Was she clearly, obviously saying, just leave him with me?
Again, I was not at that door when that was, you know, as they were putting him in the vehicle and leaving.
Question for Marc. DHS officials have said that the father abandoned this child. How does that differ from what your understanding is? You said that they were being held at Dilley. What is your understanding of the conditions in which they're being held? Do you know if Adrian Conejo Arias has any sort of criminal record to speak of? I understand you were saying he was in the asylum process.
Sure, I'll take those in reverse order. To my knowledge, I looked through the Minnesota criminal database and found nothing. So no, there's no crimes here that the family has ever done.